Now this video is all about a concept which is massive when it comes to personal influence, personal impact, and shaping your reality, shaping your life up as you want it to be. It is the idea that whoever has the strongest reality wins. Whoever has the strongest reality wins. Now, this is an expression I heard many years ago, and I'm not quite sure now where I heard it, but it always kind of stuck with me. And at the time, I was learning a lot about NLP, a lot about framing, a lot about how we make sense of our reality and how the sense that we make of our reality literally shapes our reality. So this is an expression I heard way back, but it's in my mind right now because I've just been having a discussion with a friend of mine who called me up to tell me about an experience that he had where he caught himself in conversation with somebody about something. And as they were talking to him, he nearly got pulled in, as he described it, he nearly got totally pulled in to their reality. And it would have been a reality that wouldn't have served him. It would have undermined him. It would have disempowered him in certain areas in his life. So it came around to us talking about this idea, whoever has the strongest reality wins. Now let me share with you what this idea is about, what it means and why it's meaningful. Each one of us as human beings, we walk around and we carry with us our understanding of reality. Our understanding of reality, the way we think things are. And it can change, it flows from moment to moment to moment. It's not necessarily consistent. But what this is about is how we interact with the world. You see, we don't interact with the world as it is, but we interact with the world via how we make sense of it, via how we understand it. The truth of the matter is, the world out there, the reality that we live in, is so complex, it's so multifaceted, that it is beyond our understanding. So all we have is an impoverished bunch of sense that we make of it. Okay, so we carry this with us, and in a way it creates what's sometimes called a reality tunnel. A reality tunnel, our own unique version of reality that we all walk through the world through. And you would have seen this, you would have seen two people show up and make totally different sense of the same situation, but for both of them that situation is as it occurs to them, they believe, of course. So we all walk round in our own reality tunnels of our own making, of our own shaping, of our own creating. And they create what you might call a reality distortion field. Now, this is a term, I believe Steve Jobs has used this term. I'm not suggesting that there's some kind of weird mystical thing going on here. But when we are making sense of the world in a certain way, understanding things a certain way, we speak from that place, we communicate from that place, we act from that place, and all of that communication kind of starts to distort the reality around us. It starts to try and pull other people into our reality. So each one of us as human beings, we have this our own reality tunnels we create. We walk through the world through these reality tunnels, we interact with the world through these reality tunnels, the sense we make of the world, and we speak and we communicate from them. And in that way, we're all amateur hypnotists. We're all hypnotizing each other. We're all trying to pull each other into our own reality distortion fields, into our own reality tunnels. So think about this. The world is full of people with independent individual realities, and we're all trying to hypnotize each other into our own reality. And this is where this idea, whoever has the strongest reality wins. When two people come up against each other or interact with each other, they are both coming from their own organization of reality. They are both generating their own reality distortion field around them. And what's going to happen is you're going to get these two people, they're going to come together, they're either just going to bounce off each other and they're going to maintain their own separate realities unaffected, or one is going to collapse the reality of the other into their own. So one person's going to pull the other person into their own reality, and you don't know which way it's going to go, okay? And this is what this expression means, because the person who has the strongest, clearest reality, who is more solid in their understanding of reality, they're going to win out. They're going to collapse the other person into their reality rather than being collapsed into the other person's reality, if that makes sense. Now, this is a really important, really practical thing, because if you want to walk through life, shaping life as you want it to be, creating your reality, you want to get really clear, really self-authoring in that, number one, but really strong and really solid in it. So as your reality is not being collapsed down into other people's reality, so that you don't lose the sense that you're making of the world and get sucked into the sense that other people are making of the world, if that sense isn't serving you, which it often isn't, incidentally. And this is the thing about being self-authoring. That's about switching on, becoming aware of how you're shaping reality. So you shape it as strongly as you need to have your life unfold the way you want it to. Okay, so you don't want your reality collapsed down necessarily by other people unless you choose to. Of course, opening up to the influence of others is an important way of learning. So I would never say that's absolutely wrong. But a lot of the time, you don't want that to happen. Now, certainly what you want to do is become aware of this. Is become aware that people carry their reality distortion field, and it might collapse yours down. You might get sucked into their reality. You become influenced by them rather than influencing them. You want to be aware of this, and you want to be aware of where it's serving you and where it isn't. Because when you're aware of this, you can switch on. You can have what I call a flag system. Now, this is the way I do this. I will walk through life, living life through my own frames, through my own understandings, ones that I have taken time to think through and carefully craft and carefully shape to support me. This is what I've referred to this elsewhere. This is what's called being self-authoring. This is the essence of being what I call a reality shaper, creating consciously your own reality and living through that. Okay, so you want to know what your reality is, but you want to develop a sense for when your reality is being collapsed down by somebody else's, when they are unconsciously hypnotizing you with their words and their communication. Remember, they speak from their organization of reality, and if you buy into their organization of reality, then you just got hypnotized by them, because your organization of reality has collapsed down, has been absorbed into theirs, or you've been absorbed into theirs. And you've been kind of hypnotized by them in the essence that you've been drawn into their organization of reality. So you want to have a flag system for this. You want to have a sense, an internal acuity for when this is happening. So you can feel it. You can feel you're being disempowered. You're being pulled into a disempowering reality. This is what I was suggesting to my friend who had actually been in this situation last night. This is why we were talking about it. Now, I'm going to share with you a little practical device that I like to make use of, and you could call it a piece of self-hypnosis if you want. It's just a way of orientating. It's a process you can run inside of your own mind. When you get the sense that somebody is about to pull you into their reality, and that isn't going to serve you. Okay? First of all, you need to know that this happens in order to be able to spot it. When you know it happens and you start spotting it, when your flag system, your internal sense says, oops, danger, I'm about to get sucked into someone's reality that isn't going to serve me, this is what I recommend that you do. You, in your mind, imagine a perspex shield coming up. Just perspex plexiglass, I believe you call it if you're in the States. Just coming up in your mind between you and the other person. So you can still see them, you can still interact with them, but it creates this metaphorical partition between your reality and their reality. You can still see them, you can still hear their words, but their reality is bouncing off of it back on themselves, and you get to sit within your own reality. All of this, of course, comes from an awareness of knowing this happens, knowing this is as we are, this is how we are as human beings. We walk around living our lives through our own unique sense. The unique set of understandings we are making, that is what shapes our experience of reality. So who's going to suck who into whose version, if you see what I mean? Who's going to collapse who's down? Whoever has the strongest reality wins. So, become conscious, be aware of this. I'm going to talk in other videos elsewhere. I'm going to share ideas. If you have questions, ask those questions, because I want to help you be able to do this. I want to help you be able to shape understandings of life that serve and support you. I want to help you become grounded, solid, centered in your own reality, so as you are able to shape your lives up the way you want them to be and not have those collapse down by other people. Okay? It's Christmas at the moment, so I was out last night and I was meeting up with some old friends, and an old friend of mine was telling me that a lot of people call him a fantasist and a dreamer. And I said, great, that's fantastic. I'm a fantasist and a dreamer as well. And he's saying, yeah, but you've made your dreams reality. And I never do that. And I said, well, why is that? And he said, well, people always tell me that my dreams are, they're just dreams. They're not practical. They're not real. So what's happening there is this guy is a kind of visionary of sorts. He sees all sorts of ways he could be living life. But other people, as soon as he starts to share it, they hypnotize him with their words. They collapse his reality down with their realities. They say, come on, that's not really practical. You need to, recognize your responsibilities in life and live up to this and that and all of that kind of stuff. The typical stuff that people have their own dreams crushed by in life, But this is an example of this. So my recommendation to him was that he become more certain in himself and what he's about and where he's going and how he perceives life to be and how he perceives that life should be led, and become solid and strong in that. So when he becomes solid and strong and he shows up from a place of solidity and strength, he has the strongest reality. It will collapse down the reality of his friends and family who say, no, you can't do that, because his strong reality will win through. Okay? So this is what this is all about. Whoever has the strongest reality wins. Build a strong reality. Know your reality. Be conscious of your reality. Keep iteratively exploring it. Be aware of when your reality is going to be undermined by other people's reality. When you switch up consciousness on this level, use whatever tools, the plexiglass, the perspex shield tool, whatever. This is all part of the practice. This is a skill set. Develop this stuff. It will make you more effective in creating and shaping the life that you want, living life your way, the way you want it to be, making the kind of differences you want to make in your life, for yourself and for the people who are important to you. So, how strong is your reality? Make it strong, because whoever has the strongest reality wins.